Mindfulness, being a mindful leader with purpose of self. Mindful versus mindful. It's an interesting thing when you think about it. Our mind is full all the time of conscious thoughts, 40 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So we have a full mind. I love this topic because when you think about what does it truly mean to be mindful? Let's take a deeper look. What is mindfulness? Observing your life as it happens, accepting your current situation without judgment or struggle, allowing feelings to exist without letting them drive your actions, noticing thoughts as they arise without needing to buy into them, taking action based on how you feel in your heart and gut rather than old habits or short conveniences. Mindfulness. It is the key to being present with your people. It is the key to being present with your clients, loved ones, whatever it is. You've got to be mindful of your thoughts, mindful of what you're doing in the moment. Mindfulness is focused versus distracted, aware versus autopilot. And I like those two observations. We are so distracted. Our phones, our email, our people, how many distractions do you truly think you get in a day? Well, I'm telling you right now, it is between 300 to 500 distractions per day. Okay? So quite often we're on a subconscious autopilot to get from A to B. And how often do we feel like, wow, I'm so drained from a busy day? Why? Because your mind has been working overtime. Selflessness, is another one that you really need to think about. To be selfless, okay, versus ego-centered. Our ego drives so much of our behavior. Yes, we want to be confident, okay, and think about that, because being confident is different to being arrogant, and being selfless is different to being all about me. So we've certainly got a generation, and it's another topic in another video around generational leadership and teams. But the new generation coming through, rightly or wrongly, are a lot more egocentric because of the nature of the communication they've grown up with. So compassion, kind versus indifference, wise versus ignorant. I think you've just got to understand, and I think you probably do understand, that compassion is such a critical component as a leader. Being vulnerable, being compassionate, being kind. These are not weaknesses, these are strengths. I'll say that again, these are not weaknesses, these are strengths. To be able to be vulnerable and get great feedback, and to see what your people are truly are trying to achieve and be a part of that is really important. And that's why you'll be wise, and you'll be a person that people will turn to in your organization. All right, so there's the emotional mind, the logical mind, and the wise mind. And so we've just touched on a fair bit of that in the previous slide, but I think it's, understanding that, and it's red for a reason. Emotion, we tend to be emotional beasts. We can react, energy levels, psychological states, emotional state management. These are things that are real. When you get out of bed in the morning, what emotional state are you in? Are you excited about the day, grateful about the day, or are you all feeling overwhelmed about the day? Logical mind, responding to, and a lot of us in the leadership roles are very logical. We like processes, we like to think through things, effective reasoning, discussion and analyze, and consequences, risk management, they're all logical. And we need that part of our mindfulness. But this is what it's about. This is about listening to that internal dialogue, listening to the wise mind, seeking to have that balance and perspective and serve a higher good. Your mind is an interesting beast, and this video is not going to capture it all, but I love this quote. Mindful leadership, cultivation of leadership presence, because that's what it's all about. Being present in the moment, in that flow state of really just knowing where you are and what you're doing without having distractions. It's the key to fantastic and really powerful leadership. Okay, so let me help you with this, because over the journey I've had my challenges in trying to be mindful. So 5 mindfulness exercises you can do anywhere. And there's a 6th one actually I'll talk about in a minute, but body scan, love it. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because you need to stop and constantly get yourself back into the present moment. So body scan is a good one, just, feeling your body, your toes, your feet, your calves, your thighs, your stomach, just squeeze muscles to, tense and release, tense and release. Mindful seeing, really look at what's around you. How often do we, drive 100 kilometers and never recall what we've passed? Or, when was the last time you really sat back and looked at your office environment and noticed, what things are on the wall and what people have at their desk? Mindful listening, really listening. And this is not about listening to your people. This is actually stopping and shutting your eyes and listening to the sounds that are around you and trying to hear the furthest sound. That will bring you back into a mindful state. Mindful breathing, and this is one with meditation, is really good. But to start off with, and I use this a lot, breathe in, hold, breathe out, and just be mindful of the breath going in and holding, and the breath going out can just help you bring you back to that present state. 5 senses, the exercise is, we've got our 5 senses, your sight, the sound, your taste, your smell, your touch. So you think of those senses, use those to help you get back into a mindful state. And the other one that I mentioned before is mindful eating. To really enjoy your food. Often we go out and we have great meals and we share great company, but to really enjoy the taste and the texture and the flavor that food can bring. It's a great way to be mindful. It's a great way to eat an apple. When was the last time you ate an apple and really thought about what does an apple taste like? What do you enjoy about eating an apple? Anyway, these might sound a little bit simplistic in the concept of it, but in reality, it's about that simple, getting back to a mindful state. Because it's all about balance, all right? We work hard, we drive for goals, we drive for performance, we drive to be the best we can be. But to have true balance is to be truly mindful of who you are. And that's what it's about. It's your story. You're writing the chapters. You're writing the book. You are here right now. So what you do in this very moment, you're listening to my voice, you're watching this video, you are here. This is it. There is no really past or present. It is what you do in this moment. So take that on board, because I think that's a really critical component, is to be present as much as possible, and that's to be mindful. Hope this helped. There's lots of information out there. This is just a little bit of insight. Work with your coach on this one, but it can really be a powerful thing to improve yourself, your leadership, and your relationships. Okay, thank you for listening.